Socrates, what a guy, right? This ancient Greek philosopher is often hailed as the father of Western philosophy. This dude is like the OG of philosophy, like the big kahuna. He laid the groundwork for so much of what we think about today, the godfather, if you will. Just like Marlon Brando's character in the movie, Socrates was a game changer. Why? Because he asked questions. Not just any questions, but the kind that made people really think. That's it. That's his whole deal. He didn't just lecture, he engaged people in dialogue, making them question their own beliefs. Before Socrates, philosophy was a mixed bag. There were many thinkers, but their ideas were all over the place. People were talking about the universe, sure, but they weren't really digging deep. They were more focused on the physical world. Socrates came along and said, "Hold up, let's think about this." He shifted the focus to ethics and human behavior. And boom, Western philosophy was born. His method of questioning laid the foundation for critical thinking. Socrates didn't write anything down, which is kind of annoying for us, but it does add to the mystique. It's like he wanted to be a legend. Everything we know about him comes from his boy Plato. Plato loved Socrates. He was like Socrates' biggest fan. He wrote dialogues starring Socrates, where Socrates basically schooled everyone on everything. These dialogues are still studied today. Socrates was born in Athens, Greece, around 470 BC. This was a time when Athens was at the height of its power and influence, a city that was the beating heart of ancient Greek civilization. Not a bad place to be born if you're into philosophy. The city was a melting pot of ideas, where thinkers and scholars gathered to debate and discuss the nature of life, the universe, and everything in between. Athens was buzzing with ideas, art, and culture. The agora, or marketplace, was the center of daily life, a place where citizens met to exchange not just goods, but also ideas. It was like the New York City of its time, a bustling metropolis where the latest trends in thought, politics, and art were constantly evolving. We don't know much about Socrates' early life. He was born to a stonemason father and a midwife mother, which suggests a humble beginning. Some say he was a stonemason, like his dad, working with his hands to shape the very stones that built Athens. Others say he served in the Athenian army, showing bravery and resilience in battle, which was a respected path for young men of his time. Either way, he ended up hanging out in the marketplace, asking people annoying questions. He was known for his method of questioning, now called the Socratic Method, which aimed to stimulate critical thinking and illuminate ideas. Socrates was known for being kind of ugly. His appearance was often the subject of jokes, but it didn't seem to bother him. He had a flat nose and a pot belly, features that were far from the ideal Greek standards of beauty. But he was also said to be incredibly charming and persuasive. His ability to engage people in deep, meaningful conversations made him a beloved figure in Athens. He had a way of making people think, even when they didn't want to. His questions often led people to examine their own beliefs and assumptions, making him a pivotal figure in the history of Western philosophy. Socrates' main jam was asking questions. And not just any questions, deep philosophical questions that made people think hard about their beliefs and assumptions. He called his method elenchus, which basically means cross-examination, a way to test the strength of an argument. Today, we call it the Socratic Method, a technique still revered in educational circles. Here's how it worked. Socrates would find some poor sap who thought they knew something, anything really. Then, he'd ask them a series of seemingly simple questions, each one peeling back layers of their understanding. He'd keep asking and asking until the person realized they didn't know jack, exposing the gaps in their knowledge. Socrates believed that true knowledge came from questioning everything, even your own beliefs, and never taking anything for granted. The Socratic method is still used today in classrooms, law schools, and even therapy sessions, helping people to think more deeply and critically. It's a powerful tool for critical thinking and self-discovery, encouraging individuals to explore their own thoughts and beliefs. And it all started with Socrates, the original troll of philosophy, who showed us the importance of always asking why.